Now by former House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy. He is a former federal prosecutor as well and a Fox News contributor. Trey, good to have you with us tonight. This is just a heartbreaking story, and I think we focused a lot on the protests when we talked to Kyle, and I want to get your thoughts on that. But first, I want to go back to the legal side of this, because as Mike Tobin reported, what we heard from those who are going to try to find justice in this case just a little while ago was not necessarily what the protesters on the street want to hear. They want to see people arrested, and they want those arrests to happen now. Trey.
Yeah, Martha, I can tell you, take the uniform off of that police officer, just have a man with his knee on another man's neck, there'd already be an arrest. Mm-hmm. And I don't need to wait on the feds. This is a violation of Minnesota state law. This is murder. It's either murder 1, 2, or 3 under Minnesota law, but it's one of the 3. So I'm happy that the feds are investigating civil rights violation, but you can take all the time you want for that. There's really no reason that this officer has not already been charged with either murder 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I mean, I watched the video. I discussed it with Tim Scott, my friend, on the way over here. And to see the officer's hand in his pocket, he's under no threat, no danger. There's no resistance. And you've got a guy literally the life sapping out of him. And it is an inherently dangerous act. So it may not have been premeditated, okay? Take murder 1 off, but it's either murder 2 or murder 3. And I can tell you in South Carolina, somebody would already be arrested. And if he weren't a cop, if it was just another person killing someone in the street, asphyxiating them, there'd already be an arrest. You have to ask Minnesota why it takes that long to process a video. It's pretty clear to me.
Yeah, I'm reminded of the other case that we were following of the man who was shot by the other 2 gentlemen in the pickup truck. And as soon as that video came out, that was really what precipitated those arrests, because everybody could see what happened. Now, that's going to be investigated. They've been arrested, and that'll go further. But your point is such a good one. I mean, when we have this video, we've also seen today surrounding videos of him being taken into custody. He was handcuffed. He seemed to walk, down the street. This all goes back to a store where he supposedly tried to pass off a counterfeit $20 bill, and then they called the police officers when the store realized or surmised that was what it was. Is there anything else that you see on any of these videos that give you any indication that this is something other than what it looks like, Trey?
No, I've watched every video you can see, and I was a state prosecutor as well as a federal prosecutor. I did a bunch of homicide cases. If I was a person of color, I'd be wondering how Dylan Roof, who killed 9 black people in a church in South Carolina, can be arrested without incident. But Mr. Floyd, under suspicion of passing a counterfeit $20 bill, can't even live through the arrest. I mean, I think look, I'm not a fan of vigilante justice. I think you're just creating additional victims and you're taking away from your argument. But it would do us all well to take a step back and try to see the genesis of this outrage. Dylan Roof is arrested without innocent after he murders 9 people, 9 black folks in a church in South Carolina. And yet this guy can't even survive an arrest for a counterfeit $20 bill.
This is the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey. Let's watch this.
I believe in Minneapolis. I love Minneapolis. And in believing in our city, we must believe that we can be better than we have been.
You talk about the rule of law. You hear the emotion in his voice after what he saw last night in his city, Trey. And, I know you have concerns about what this means for all of us, what it means for the country when we look at this situation.
Yeah, I guess my first question would be, if you love Minneapolis, why did you have a cop with this background? This is not his first foray into inappropriate conduct. So if you love Minneapolis, why are you hiring and retaining cops that have resumes like this cop did? Look, I think Bill Barr, this is a state matter, but I hope Bill Barr does get involved, Martha. And the first 2 phone calls he needs to make to me are to Tim Scott and Val Demings. one a senator, one a House member. Val, of course, is a police chief. We need a national conversation so we can, it needs to be raw, and it needs to be frank, and it needs to be honest, because we're not going to survive with a justice system that communities of color do not have confidence in. And it's been that way for a long time. We can't just have this talk after a black man is killed. We got to have the talk the day before somebody is killed. Maybe we can prevent the next killing, but we got to have a national conversation. And I would start with Tim Scott and Val Demings, and he can put whoever else he wants on it. But this needs to be an American family conversation, not people putting torches to Target stores in Minneapolis. That ain't going to accomplish nothing.